Este soy yo, Seba Cabrera, shaper uruguayo que por las lindas vueltas de la vida terminé trabajando con este otro barbudo de acá, Britt Merrick, head shaper de Channel Island, hijo del legendario shaper Al Merrick. Este verano estuve laburando en la fábrica de Channel en carpintería, metiéndole mano a los últimos modelos que sacó la marca, The Solution y Mikey Shorty. Después de haber shapeado algunas decenas, aproveché para sentarme con Britt a tomar unas cervezas, a hablar de estos diseños y sobre todo a conversar de tablas.
Yeah, the Solution, I love that board. I can't get off it. And I'm stoked on how it came out. Most of my boards these days comes out of something that a team writer is asking for and they're testing it. And a lot of times, the last couple of years, I won't even ride it. You know, it's something that's maybe too advanced for me or just not what I ride. But this board was different. I wanted a board that was like a step down from my better everyday. And so I made myself the first couple prototypes of the Solution. And I went down to Cabo San Lucas and I used that as like a research and development trip. Took a couple down there, rode it a bunch, was down there for a few days, understood the changes I need to make and came back and was loving the board. And I was loving it so much.
What you are looking for with the board?
I was looking for, like I said, a step down from my better everyday. So something for small waves that's just easy to ride, really fast, but also high performance.
What are the difference with the happy everyday that it's like also step down from the better?
So what makes it a step down is it's got a wider outline.
Yeah.
Right, it's got that really wide tail on it. And then fuller through the nose, but it's also got a pretty down rail on it, a pretty refined rail.
I saw that, yeah.
But the other thing that had to happen for it to be a step down from the better everyday is it had to be good off the front foot. The better everyday doesn't like the front foot, it really likes the back foot. And if you drive it off the back foot, you can get a ton of speed. But as soon as you like get over your front foot on the better everyday, it kind of bogs.
Slow down, yeah.
But when you're riding really small waves, you tend to kind of try to pump off your front foot. So I knew that the board below the better everyday had to be good off the front foot. So that meant a whole new rocker. And so this board is really good off the front foot, the back foot. The other thing I love is it's good as a thruster, a quad, a 2+1. So I wanted it to be that fun board that you have in your car all the time. And when the waves suck, you're still like, that's okay, the waves suck, I have the solution. I'm still gonna have fun.
Now you mentioned that, like it's happening that a lot of people is jumping on the 2+1 on the like configuration of the thruster, and everyone, because in my country like it happens also in the better everyday and other CI models, like they put this 2+1. Normally, you know, like the setup in the 2+1 is a little farther, with a little difference, and everyone is loving it. Like something is changing there, right?
Yeah. People do seem to be interested in 2+1s lately, which is why I really knew it had to work in that board. And yeah, it's kind of tricky to figure out the fins for it to work for all those configurations, but in one location. So
okay, something it's open in there, like. Also, what I saw in the Solution that it's kind of interesting is like the foiling. It's not like it's something I think new because we are used to like have another distribution. You know, there you have like a lot of thickness, but then it's super foiled out and the rails are down, and so when you feel the board, it doesn't seem like you have all this volume, you know?
Right.
And it's like a hidden volume, super interesting thing that's happening there. It's kind of amazing. Huh?
Yeah, I really started working on hiding the volume better with the Big Happy.
Yeah.
Right? Because like the Big Happy and the Solution are generally going to be high volume boards, but I don't want them to feel fat. I ride a high volume board, like 40 liters, but I don't want to pick it up and have it feel fat and gross.
Then like the Solution, you have 40 liters in next hizo, like stock dims or something like that.
I don't know if it's stock dims or not. Mine's 6.0, 21, and 3. And that's 40.2 liters. So with those boards that are generally going to be high liter boards, like the Big Happy and the Solution, I've really been working on figuring out how to hide the volume.
Okay. Now, you already released like this Mikey's Shorty in February. We are also working on that. It looked kind of amazing board, like super high performance.
I felt some of the ones you shaped today, they felt really good. Good
Mine
job.
of that.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, they felt really good.
I know like you are looking for something between the CI Pros and the Too Happy Family.
Right.
What's the difference with the Mikeys? Like,
So Mikey's the kind of surfer that is not going to love a ton of rocker because he likes to feel inherent immediate speed in the board. So his shortboard can't have a ton of rocker in it like the CI Pro. But also, you know, he's able to do world-class turns, so it's got to be a bit more tuned in than the Too Happy. It's got to be a bit more high performance. So as far as the rocker, the approach is very similar to the Too Happy. It's a stage rocker, single to double concave.
Explain a little bit that, because there's a lot of people that doesn't know like this difference with the continuous and stage rocker.
Yeah, so the CI Pros are a continuous rocker, which basically means the rocker curve from the nose of the board to the tail is kind of one continuous curve, more or less. And then a stage rocker, which would be like the Too Happy, the OG Flyer, stuff like that, is more like has bend in the nose, but then through the middle of the board, like between your feet, is a straight spot. And then right in front of the fins, the rocker bends again. So what that generally does with a stage rocker is it gives the board a bigger sweet spot.
Yeah.
You know, you can surf it off the middle of the board, you can move it around.
You can show like the feet placement.
Yeah.
It's like you're not have to be a super pro surfer. Like
Right.
you can correct a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Where with
more friendly.
It's more friendly, more accessible. With a continuous rocker, you really kind of got to have your feet and your weight distribution right. You know, so the stage rocker kind of, a lot more surfers can relate to that than a continuous curve like the CI Pro. So that rocker makes sense for Mikey in the way that he surfs. He moves his feet a lot. He wants a board to be immediately fast, but then he does some great turns. So it's got an all new outline, new foil, but a similar rocker to the Too Happy.
Yeah, in the footage we all have seen, like, the board seems like super fast, like the curves. They draw like super tight curves.
Yeah.
Like that's what you look for in a continuous rocker board, like tighten the turns.
Tighten the turns.
But this board like looks super tight. Yeah? It's fast.
Yeah, well, that's the cool thing about the stage rocker. When you do get your foot back and you're on that curve through the fins, that curve fits really well into the wave. So as long as you're kind of weighted on that back foot, the curve still fits really well. But then you could like kind of get up off the front and pump it down the line.
Nice. So the feedback about the Mikeys is like the team riders are riding it.
Yeah, team riders have been riding it. Gabriel Medina really loves that one.
Oh, we all see that, too. Yeah, he looks sharp.
Yeah.
It's super sharp.
Yeah.
It's a new Medina, what?
Yeah, he really likes that one. He just got, the whole thing that started with Medina was he just got one of them and loved it so much and then ordered 4 more and then it just kind of went.
He ordered the board or he just picked from?
No, he ordered the board. Yeah.
Nice.
He just ordered a short board. He didn't ask for anything in particular and I made him that one.
You are super hooked on this model. Like you put them all in stab.
Yeah.
For Medina, make the same one.
Yeah.
Like, so it's the new high performance CI approach or what?
Yeah, it's one of the approaches. You have to have multiple approaches, right? Because high-level surfers are all very different. So, they're not all going to like the same thing. That's why we have the different families of boards.
Yeah.
You know, the Pro family, the Happy family, and now the Mikey that sits in between. Because you're never going to find one rocker that works for every surfer.
Yeah, of course not. But what I felt when the CI Pro come around, you know, it was super. It's kind of ironic because it felt super fresh to have this rocker again.
Yeah.
You know, because we came from this like shorty, fatter, low rocker thing, and the CI Pro was just like power surfing again, and it was super fresh to see the surfers like just hammering it.
Yeah.
then like you also have this too happy family that is more friendly, and it was something super interesting about that what we see in our factory and in our surfers and clients, that it's super easy to get used to one board. If, for example, you are riding a happy every day or a better every day, and you want to step up and you jump on the traveler and you immediately feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So it was super nice to have this like family thing going on, because then it's more like comfortable
Yeah.
to jump one from another.
Yeah.
I know, it's amazing. Now we have this new thing going on.
Yeah.
Probably became some family too, or what?
Yeah, it will. I am working on a step up with Mikey. So that, I don't know, that is probably a year out at least, but I'm working on a step up with him.
And with the Mikeys, he already tried, like, when you talk about the step up, what size are you talking about?
Oh, a couple different things. The Mikey shortboard will step up pretty good, 2 or 3 inches. You know, a lot of guys that get it can step it up from a 6.0 to a 6.2 very easily, the same board, just with a round pin on it. But then I'm working on something with him that's more for like that. If his shortboard's a 6.0, this would be more like the 6.5 and up range.
Okay.
Is what we're working on.
Nice.
But the reason that I think the families are so important, what really, you know, you got the average surfers who are going to maybe ride a 2 happy and a better every day all the time, and then they're going to go on 1 surf trip a year, and they're hoping to score. You don't want them to have to be figuring out a board.
Yeah, like
I want them to
fit
get the happy traveler and feel comfortable on it. And me, the same way. You know, I don't score good waves that often, but when I do, I don't want to have to spend time getting used to my board. But then with the pro family, what I realized with our pro team is at a contest, they might be on a 6.0 one day and a 6.6 the next day. You know what I mean? Or they're somewhere like Margaret River and they're on a 6.0 and then they're on a 6.3. And they don't have time to have 2 totally different boards.
That's interesting too, you know, because you have like these old pro tour surfers going on. Of course, there are people like super deal into surfboards and their technique and everything, you know, and then you have the average show.
Right.
Like, also people that is, you know, is shredding, you know, like surfing really good, but they need other boards, you know, because if you jump into this thing, super rocker thing, you are not going to catch any wave.
Yeah.
So how do you work it out, you know? You think when you design a board, like you think in this team riders world, and then you jump to the average guy to design the boards, or you just like try to mix it up all together, you know? Thinking about one model, you know?
Yeah. It works both ways. So sometimes something will start with average surfers in mind, normal people, right? And so I'll design a board around that. And then if I think that board is good, what I'll try to do is kind of like soup it up to be at a pro level. So I'll bring that board up performance-wise. So sometimes that's the process. Other times, the boards are based on like pro team feedback. And so it's already really high performance. And I'll try to then evolve the design to drag the other way. Like, I know this is a good rocker. How can I make this suitable for more people,
like
and
more
for
friendly
average people?
And for people like, you know, average surfer, what do you think they had to look for in a board? Because we have all it's happening everywhere, you know, like this guy, they want the super ultimate high performance shortboard, but the level is not like there. What do you recommend these guys, you know? Like,
well, the most important thing in surfing is catching waves.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. And that's one of the things I'm most excited about with the solution is it paddles so great.
Well, I tried it. I tried, like, since I'm here, I'm not very, I had not good luck, you know, like it's just a couple days of surfing in Rincon, but I had the chance to try the solution in Rincon, and was amazing about the board is just 2 paddles and you're in.
Yeah,
It's like
paddles,
super
so good.
fun.
Yeah. So that's the most important thing in surfing. If you're not catching waves, you're not having fun. So that comes down to how a board paddles. Part of that, of course, is getting the right volume, the right dimensions. And then the other most important thing in surfing is speed. So the faster you're going, the more fun you're having. So the most important thing is I can catch waves easily, I can catch enough waves, and then I can go fast, because fast is always more fun.
But then you have to control the speed.
Sure, but even if you can't control the speed and you're just a
fun.
normal surfer, it's fun.
Yeah, of course.
Fast is always fun.
Yeah.
Like if I'm driving my truck around, like I want to go fast. I might not make the stop sign, but
that's happened with the Logs family too. Like they go fast.
Yeah, that's the thing. Fast is fun.
Yeah. Well, for me, like what is the tricky part of designing boards is control the speed while not losing the speed. Yeah. Because everything you are going to make on the board to control, it's going to lose that.
Exactly.
So you are always in this like thin line where you go like, okay.
You gotta balance it.
Yeah. That's where the magic is, right?
Yeah. That's how surfboards are. You know, it can either be strong or light, but not both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
So,
but then you have the ECTs that are trying to figure it out.
They kind of are both. But speed is really important, and I think that's one of the things that I always work on with my designs is I want the boards to feel fast. Probably where I've had to work the hardest the last few years is in figuring out better ways to control the speed. So that's why I've been working in Hawaii so much the last few years. I've spent a lot of time on the North Shore figuring out how to make the speed more
what do you have find out?
Well, I found out that, you know, how to make the board sit in the water better, not so much on top of the water.
Because with the concaves.
Yeah. Part of speed is the board being on top of the water. So when you have a big, powerful wave, you don't have to generate speed. The wave's doing it for you. You got to harness the speed. So the board's got to sit in the water more.
Like this, you have this opposite with the Black Beauty. Mm-hmm. With the big concave.
With a big V. Yeah. So stuff like that. And then it's always, you know, it's a trade-off.
Yeah. It's amazing how like it's super like delicate this surfboard design, because every time you're touching one thing, you need to touch another one because finding this nice balance between, of course, the speed and the control, and then you want to paddle wells, and then you have this like stereotype of like physics super different. And that's why I think like surfers are still like surfer industry. It's still alive, you know, because you are still dealing with all these customs.
Right.
If it weren't like that, perhaps all the boards are made in China now, you know.
Right.
So this world is about making this magic happens between the physics and experience of this guy in a board that it's going to work, have speed, have control, and everything.
Yeah. That's what's fun about it too, is, you know, it's no two boards are ever exactly the same, and no two surfers are exactly the same. And it's not like skateboards or snowboards where they'll work for, you know, tons of people. It's very individual. And, you know, you shape boards, you know, like one day all the curves are coming together perfectly, and another day you're kind of fighting the foam, and, you know, sometimes the foam is really good, sometimes it's not, and the sanding job and the glassing, there's so many variables in surfboards.
Yeah, that's the other thing, you know, because you have this world of the shaping that we all focus on that in the design and the shape and the curves and the concaves and everything, but then you have like the building of the board, where there's a lot of things happening there that affects the performance, like I know, like the weight and the fins placement and the angles and
The wood and the stringer,
yeah, and the foam,
the weather,
yeah,
when it's glass, all that stuff.
yeah. That's why where I meant, like, we still had to deal with all this, and you have room for magic to happen.
Yeah.
That's nice about that. When you are working like in the shaping bay, because I saw you like with your headphones on. What is your mindset up? Like, you are listening to your music, you are thinking about the surfer. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm always thinking about the surfer, and I'm blessed that I get to shape for kind of a pretty steady crew of team members. So I'm very tuned into those surfers. So I'm always thinking about them. This last week I've shaped a bunch of boards for Barron, bunch of boards for Parker Coffin, and a bunch of boards for Medina, and they're all different. They might be some of the same basic designs, but they all like them different from one another. Barron likes different rails than Parker likes, and he even likes the last 8 inches of his tail very different from Parker. And Medina's tail's got to be different from Barron's, I'm learning, and so I'm always tuned in, thinking about the surfer, and then I like to be in a little bubble in my head. So that's why I always have the headphones on. I can't hear any outside noise. I'm either listening to music or podcasts, something that just allows me to be in a bubble where I can concentrate on that board and there's no external noise that I don't want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I like getting in my own little world in there, and the rest of the world goes away. That's my favorite thing about shaping is, I love shaping, and I just love being in my own world in there.
Yeah, it's like a therapy.
A what?
A therapy.
Terabit?
Therapy, like, you're, there's a lot of time thinking and being by yourself.
Yeah.
There.
What was the word you said?
Therapy.
Therapy, yes. Yes.
Like, there's not a therapist there, but like there's a lot of time.
There's a lot of time. There's a lot of time to be in your head, which is why
Exactly.
mental health is important.
Yeah, in the industry,
Yeah,
you can see a lot of
yeah, you see
illness.
a lot of shapers who you're like, dude, this might not be good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't talk about this stuff.
If you have a bunch of like negative thoughts in your head, shaping's hard for you.
Yeah, and also there's a lot of pressure and responsibility going on
Yes.
there, because like you are in a place, of course, there is, it must be, I don't know how you feel that, but I think that it must be a lot of pressure going on.
Yeah.
You are making board for the highest level surfers in the world, and
Yeah.
how do you deal with that?
Well, luckily for me, I'm kind of best under pressure. I've always been that way in my
Okay.
life. Like I deal with pressure well, and whatever I'm doing, I think I do it best under pressure. I was talking with my dad about this the other day, and we had been talking about our conversation at dinner the other night, and you were asking me if my son was going to shape.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't know if he loves it enough to do it. And I don't know if I want him to deal with that pressure. You have to want it. And my dad and I were talking about it. My dad always loved the pressure because he liked to compete with himself.
Yeah.
And he liked it when a surfer didn't like a board, because then he just went into his little world and just worked so much harder.
I was thinking the other day, like about this conversation too. And I was shaping and thinking like, wow, it's so special that, a son follows the steps of their dad on anything, like, but in shaping, I think it's more special because it's super hard.
Yeah.
And you saw your father like fighting and building all this.
Yeah.
And beside of that, you decide, okay, I want to do that also.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It is kind of crazy when I look back on it and I saw everything my dad went through. And when I was growing up, I would see him carrying that pressure and that weight, you know what I mean? And the way that it affected him. So I just felt like I didn't really have a choice. I just felt like shaping was always calling me, and it captured me, and it's just something I kind of had to do. But I like the pressure. I like the pressure. If there wasn't pressure,
that's a crazy thing to say.
I know. But I realized about myself, like, if there wasn't pressure, I probably would lose interest pretty quick for me.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
I need that. I need to be competitive with myself. I need that internal challenge.
And also, like, for you, it must be harder because, like, you are the son of Britt Merrick.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that because that makes me work harder. Because I know I'm always going to be judged against my dad.
Yeah, you have like double judgment.
Yeah. But I like that. Like, I love that my dad is the great shaper that he is, and I love having to sort of, in a way, compete with that because it makes me work really hard.
And how is the relationship with him in the surfer, like designing? Like you have a lot of chat with him talking about boards design, or you are just going your path and try not to get in so much influence?
No, we don't talk about board design that much. We had a conversation day before yesterday a little bit about it, but more it's just him asking me how the boards are going, like how's the team.
Okay.
And he asked me about that stuff. But the thing about my dad and I is we both, for better or for worse, we both love our own ideas. So my dad was never the kind of guy who's like, oh, what's this guy making and what's this shaper doing and let me do that. He really concentrated on his own ideas. And so obviously everything I've learned from my dad, everything. And I still have his rockers and his templates. So I take a ton of stuff from my dad, but I'm more interested in my own ideas. My own ideas are shaped by my dad and formed by my dad. But I think he and I are the same way, that we don't really want to hear what other people have to say about it. We want to go in the room and disappear and figure it out on our own.
So then,
and he knows I'm like that. He knows we're the same. So if he does talk to me about design, he's usually making fun of me.
How that?
He'll look at one of my boards and he'll be like, oh, that left rail's a little weird. He'll look down the bottom and go, oh, I don't know about those concaves. And he just makes fun of me. It's great. I love it.
Okay. When you start like designing, right? So you have this, for example, like you have a team rider that wants, okay, I like this, I need like, but I want something different. I want like other line in the wave, Where is your starting point from that? When you start thinking about a new design, like I think some guys are thinking first on the rocker or others on the outline,
Yeah.
Where is your starting point?
I always think about rocker first. Rocker's the most important thing. And that's the hardest thing to get right. Foils you can figure out, rails you could figure out, but the rocker and the contours are really where the magic are. And if you have a really good rocker and contours, the rest of the board could suck and it's still going to be a decent board.
Yeah.
But if you have a bad rocker, it doesn't matter what your foil and your rails are like.
And from what I heard about you, I heard you in the past, you kind of always start with the hand shape, or?
Yeah, so not as much these days because now I have such a library of designs that I could tweak them. But
that
for
you
example,
already scans.
Yeah, but like the whole Happy Family, that all came from hand shapes. Those were all originally hand shapes. And then, so what I'll do oftentimes, if I hand shape something and we scan it, from there I can just tweak it.
So I want to stop on that because the rocker, like for me, it's the hardest curve to reproduce, you know, like copy. That's why we have the machines and all this revolution about our industry. But when you are shaping, like, I kind of feel like when you are hand shaping a board, like the rocker is kind of something you feel, right?
Yes.
You don't have this template.
Right.
So when you start a new design and you hand shaping, like you hand shape a board, go try it, and then from that point you start tweaking around, or
Either I would go try it or I'd shape it for someone like Dane.
how is that?
The
Like
whole-
with the feedback.
He's good. He's very critical about surfboards. He doesn't like most of them, which is good.
Yeah. It's hard to say, but it's the feedback you want. Because if this guy comes and say, okay, I like everything,
Yeah.
that doesn't worth.
And I have surfers like that, and that's fine. That makes life easy, but the
That
surfers
doesn't help.
No, the surfers you learn from are the surfers that don't
Yeah,
like stuff. So
totally, yeah.
like the whole happy family eventually came out of hand shapes that I had made for Dane.
Okay.
And then would tweak
The two
and
happy?
tweak and tweak.
No, the happy, the
All of
original.
them, everything in the happy family, all originally came from hand shapes I made from Dane and then evolved over the years. You know, and so part of that was his feedback and then my own feedback from writing it and then other team members' feedbacks until it gets to where it is.
Okay. It's interesting because he's not like a typical, like his boards
Yeah,
are not
yeah, right.
like the typical shortboard.
Right, so here's what happens usually with Dane. If I make him something he likes these days, by the time I make it so that everyone else likes it, he doesn't like it anymore. He didn't like the changes.
But when you make it like some universal
Yeah.
for everyone,
Yeah, he doesn't like it anymore. That's kind of
like,
the way.
give me back my
Yeah.
strange thing.
Yeah, like he doesn't write anything associated with a happy family anymore, but it started with designs that he liked. And then I evolved.
What he's using now?
He rides a few different things. So he really likes CI Pro, but with a flatter rocker, a bit flatter. Nope, it's not on the market, but it's a 3-point Pro. So even less rocker than the
But
2.
it's coming.
Maybe, we'll see. He likes that. And then I made him a short board out of the Solution rocker,
Okay.
and he likes that.
But with a different outline.
With a different outline, with a shortboard outline. He's liking that one.
With the bump.
Yep. Yeah.
I can imagine something like this.
Yeah, you can see it, right? You can see how that rocker would work well that way.
Yeah.
And then he likes all his, stuff like neck beards and
They're universal.
yeah.
But his neck beard is not the neck beard like everyone can custom with the CI?
Like I said, he usually likes it, and then I take it and make it for everyone else, and he stops liking it. So
Because it happened, it was something nice, with all this neck beard thing.
yeah,
Because it goes with the neck beard, the 3 fish beard,
Yeah.
and people love that. Both.
yeah, I know.
Like the fish beard was like something super special.
Yeah,
Like for this high performance twin thing,
yeah,
I love that.
yeah. Dane didn't like it.
Ah,
He didn't like it at all.
that's a tough guy.
He's a tough guy,
Yeah.
but that's great. I've learned so much by working with Dane.
I think he's one of the best surfers on earth.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing because he now like he's older
Yeah,
and you can see it like bigger
yeah.
and his surfing is
It's good.
still there.
Yeah, and he's motivated. He wants to keep surfing well and wants to get better, and he's still motivated. He's still coming in and working on new designs, and
That's other thing that is super interesting. I was talking about with some friends today that the that's empty.
yeah,
Like the special relationship between the shaper and these guys with the great feedback,
yeah,
because it's the holy grail, when you find this surfer that surf good but also can talk about
yeah,
what he's feeling with the
Yes.
boards and can give you feedback that you can use.
yeah. That's my favorite thing about being a surfboard builder is the relationships with the guys or girls that I make boards with. That's my favorite thing, because I got this from my dad, because my dad got really close to his surfers. You know, Kelly was like a son to him, Tom Kern was like a son, and he always had these great relationships with his surfers, and I was right there in the middle of it and saw it. So I think I just kind of grabbed that as like, well, I guess that's what we do as shapers. We really care about the people that we make boards for. So I maybe too much, I just really get attached to guys and girls that I make boards for. But then what that does is it motivates me. You know, if I'm shaping boards for Barron or Lakey or Brisa or someone, I'm oftentimes when I'm shaping boards for them, I'm thinking about our relationships and fun times we've had together and the jokes that we have and their hopes and dreams, and it makes me want to work really hard for them.
Then you see them growing too, with your boards and their feet, and it's kind of amazing too. And
then one of my favorite things to do is teach surfers about board design so that they can give good feedback. I love doing that.
Yeah, well, this interview, it's kind of part of that, you know, like I think it's super important that people start getting, like surfers, get it more into the design and they start understanding when you're surfing, what is happening.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're making a curve and your rail, so then when you're going to buy a surfer or order a custom or whatever, you know, try to know more, have more knowledge of what you need.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all your work. Thank you for all your excellent work. So happy to have you in the Channel Islands family and grateful for all you do. And it's good to have you here, bro.
Man, cheers.
Cheers.